everyone. Hello, hello. Coach Louise. I am excited about the topic that I talk about today. It is, let's talk, Real Talk Tuesday at 2. I want to do this every Tuesday just to bring to you a topic that I'm definitely interested in and would love to find out what you're interested in. And I love doing the research. I love figuring out, these different topics and how they play a part in our overall health and fitness and well-being. So today we're going to talk about something that is actually a very huge subject, gut health. So with the following weeks, if there's an topic, an issue that you want to talk about, definitely comment below or send me a private message, and I would love to look into it and get to learn more myself while I help educate and inform others. And with that, I just wanted to say up front before I forget too, with anything that I've said today, one, I'm not an expert. Basically, I've done some research. I have experience with my own life and with, if some of you follow me, with helping my mom with her health issues. She's had gastric cancer, had her stomach removed. And so we're learning a lot about how to redo her nutrition, get her gut health back to a good state, and so that she can gain strength and all that good stuff. So, so this is something I bring to you from personal experience and from personal research. If something I talk about today, you have a differing opinion or you've learned something else, or when you're looking, because you can go out and there's so much research and information on gut health and all the different kind of aspects that come out of that, which you'll see when we talk about it today, that if there's something that you learn, definitely share with me, because I'd love to continue this dialogue and talk with you about it. If you want to private message me, if you want to comment below, I want to continue that on because I will continue to learn. And my whole purpose is to help, inspire and inform and educate others so that they can live fit every day in every area of their life. Okay, so gut health. You may or may not have heard this term. It is quite a popular term lately. Honestly, I only heard about it, a couple of years, maybe at the most, a year or two ago myself. And I didn't realize what a big deal it is, but it's something that has been widely researched and widely written about and documented. I have been experiencing symptoms of poor gut health, and what I just attributed it to was growing up, I'd had issues, lots of gas and cramping and bloating and stomach pain, and I would go see the doctor. I would get sharp pains that would just double me over, and your colon goes across your stomach, and mine kind of has a little bit more of a prolapse. It has more, a little circuitous way that it is lined out. It's not just kind of this normal, healthy, straight across. So that would cause me some digestive issues. So I just attributed it to that and not necessarily to my dietary choices, which we'll get into. So there are some things that kind of sprouted out from like gut health, and there's leaky gut syndrome, which we'll talk about a little bit more. There are the whole industry of probiotics and prebiotics and digestive enzymes, which I'll also get into a little bit. And then somebody brought up earlier an article that talks about anti-nutrients. So that is something new that I've learned in the last few months about anti-nutrients, just in researching, my own health and what I choose to eat and how it affects me. So our health is an individual responsibility for us to figure out what works best for us, because we are all individuals. We all have individual goals, and we all react differently to different things that we consume, different environments, different other health issues that we might have that can contribute to that. So you may or may not know about gut health, but let's talk about it a little bit more. If you experience, after you eat, if you get any gas or bloating, if you have stomach pain, if you have diarrhea or constipation, maybe that's kind of like all in a revolving symptom wheel that you might experience, then most likely you are having gut health issues. And so I'm going to share with you kind of some reasons why that is and how you can help to promote a healthier gut. And then leaky gut is just, it's when the bacteria and the toxins and the waste that come from either the foods that we're eating or the digestive process. When they escape our large intestines and enter into the bloodstream, that's called leaky gut. It leaks out of our gut into our bloodstream and can cause serious health issues and lots of inflammation, lots of ill health. If you're experiencing that, you'll know it, and you should talk to your doctor about it. And just mentioning that, I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. And so if you have any issues, I definitely want to chat with you about it and dig deeper into it. But it may be one of those things where you need to talk with your doctor about it too. But you might try some of the things that I suggest and see if it can help improve your symptoms and help improve your overall health, your gut health. So in that, there are probiotics. They're naturally occurring in our body, although you can supplement with foods, fermented foods. They're the good bacteria. So your gut is made up of this environment, the gut flora, or a biome it's called, and it has healthy bacteria and bad bacteria. And when the bad bacteria outnumbers the good bacteria, then you have gut issues. We get the bad bacteria basically through things that we eat. So we'll talk about that. So you have probiotics, which are naturally occurring good bacteria in your gut. Prebiotics are a supplement that you can take that help feed the probiotics, because the probiotics are a bacteria it's a single-celled organism, bacteria that requires food to live, to thrive, and to do what it's supposed to do in your body. So it needs to be fed. It has nutritional needs. Now, there are trillions of bacteria in your gut alone. And I think that's just amazing. I mean, we have all kinds of bacteria, single-celled organisms, microbes that are on our skin, that our whole body is made up of. But your gut alone has trillions of them. And there are different species, like I read recently there's like 500 different species of these microbes, these bacteria in your body. They all have specific functions, and they all have nutritional needs. Some break down and digest carbohydrates, some break down and digest protein, some sugar, some fiber, and they all have their specific functions and what they do. So when we feed our body certain things, if you eat a lot of sugar and processed foods, you are feeding that specific bacteria, and that's going to proliferate, and then that is going to outweigh some of the others, and it just throws this whole environment off balance, or it can. And that's kind of where it all starts to happen, right? The gut is considered, it's been termed now like your second brain, because it has so much going on in there, and the cells aren't just these little like Pac-Man things running around in your gut. They actually can let off signals, and they can trigger cravings. They can talk to your brain. So you get your brain, and then your gut is your second brain, and they talk to each other, and they send signals to each other. And when your biome of your gut is off, or it is needing food, or it's used to getting all that sugary stuff, right? It's sending the signal, hey, we're out, we need more. And that presents itself to you as a craving, and you think you're weak-willed, but really it's your body that's talking to you. So depending on what you feed yourself, what you are feeding your body, you're kind of training it to want more of that stuff. So like the easy fix, and just like if I were to say, long story short, it's just to eat healthy, right? Feed your body the healthy stuff, and it'll crave the healthy stuff. And that's where we want to get to, honestly, right? And then before I forget to, with the brain, your brain and your gut brain talking with each other, stress also affects. It'll send the signal the other way. It affects how the bacteria, the organisms in your gut live and thrive. And when you're stressed out, you're sending those signals in the opposite direction, right? And it can cause your gut health to go out of whack as well. So you have probiotics down there, naturally occurring good bacteria. You feed them good stuff. they thrive and they do the job that they're supposed to do, which is breaking down your food and helping it to get absorbed and helping the nutrients to get absorbed. Most of those bacteria live in your lower intestine. So your whole GI tract, like I talked about last week in the, do you know your shit? Like we talk about healthy eating, and healthy pooping is also important because it kind of is a reflection of what you're eating. And in between the healthy eating and the healthy pooping, you have the whole GI tract, which is your gut health. So it starts with what you're eating, goes down through your esophagus, hits the stomach. There's like an upper and lower chamber of the stomach. It starts to break it down in the upper. It sends it down to the lower. The digestive juices get in there. And your digestive enzymes, the essential enzymes that help break down food, get in there. And to help break that down, it sends it to the small intestine. It gets broken down further. Nutrients, a lot of nutrients are removed in your small intestine. They get broken down into molecules that get absorbed into your bloodstream, that gets fed to parts of your body that need it, into the organs and the systems. And then your lower intestine gets it, then it continues on down to the lower intestine and then out your bum. So in the lower intestine is where a majority of the probiotics, the good bacteria, live. But the thing is, if you're eating a lot of processed foods, those don't have a lot of nutrients, those don't have a lot of fiber, they're getting broke down, they're getting, whatever little nutrients in it is getting, absorbed out, and then it's shooting down and out, and it's not getting, and basically it's not getting to that lower intestine where it gets to sit and ferment. And when it ferments, that's what's creating the naturally occurring probiotics. If you're not having that, that's why then you have to supplement your gut health with probiotics. So if you're eating healthy food, you're going to just allow that naturally occurring generation of probiotics to happen. But if you're not eating very healthy, then it is suggested that you eat like fermented foods, because that has the probiotic in it. And it's going to go down and it's going to have that fermentation that's going to create the probiotics. So things like kimchi, kefir, yogurts, kombucha, and with that, just be careful of the yeast content. You don't want to be eating a great deal of those or making that the way you're getting it all, because then you get extra yeast introduced and you might end up with yeast infection and some other things. So obviously eating healthy, eating foods like raw whole veggies, and some animal proteins that are more natural and lean and organic and grass-fed. Those are the things that are going to help you just do this naturally without having to supplement a lot, right? Okay, so on that note, so you've got processed foods that you're consuming that are getting absorbed, and they're not getting down to where it needs to be to ferment properly. But then you have where a lot of it starts too is in eating a lot of animal proteins that are, and I hate this term, but this is an awful term, but it is reality, and they're industrial products. They are industrially farmed meats. And you get the same thing going on with your plants as well, but you have cows and chickens and pigs that are being raised in plants, not in the good plants, in warehouse type things that are fed genetically modified grains. They're literally have garbage in their feed. They are a lot of filler food, a lot of things that are like the anti-nutrients, the grains and they're genetically modified grains. And so those block the absorption of digestive enzymes, or the naturally occurring enzymes. And then you don't get the nutrients, and it just causes that whole, the stomach pain, the bloating, inflammation. Inflammation, that is like the one word of all of it, is that's what's occurring in there. Okay, so you got the animal protein, and if it's the industrially grown, farmed animals, then or you have plants that are being grown, mass produced in soil that is not nutrient rich anymore, that's devoid of any real nutrients. It's actually fertilized with who knows what, given herbicides and pesticides, and that's, you know, your apples, your broccoli, your fruits and veggies look like they're healthy, but you know, if you were to somehow do a lab experiment and look at the nutrient breakdown of it, you're not getting like a quarter of what you used to get. So here you are ingesting animal protein that has been given antibiotics so that it stays healthy because it's being fed crap. It's given hormones to beef it up and make it bigger so that it produces more meat. You're eating plants that are no longer nutritious, although they may look like it. They don't provide your body with those nutrients that it used to. So what happens when you ingest those? What happens is they're literally poison to your body, and they create endotoxins. So you are ingesting toxins, and those endotoxins, a couple hours after you eat, those will start releasing into your bloodstream, and it causes the inflammation. So it's just a natural response your body is having towards things that are not supposed to be in there, like things that are foreign to your body. So the natural response is inflammation. So you're eating that, you're getting the inflammation, it presents as gas and bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain, and it is also not contributing to the natural good bacteria that your gut needs to be able to, once you do send it some wonderful nutrients, be able to break it down. Okay, so that's a whole lot right there. So a real bottom line is that, you know, this with poor eating choices, and I guess I'll just break it down with, you know, what are the things to do to promote a good, healthy gut. But I do want to touch on anti-nutrients, because somebody had commented to me earlier about when I put out there I was going to talk about gut health, you know, things that they have learned or symptoms that they had in the anti-nutrients. That is a really interesting subject, because there are good ones and there are bad ones. They are synthetic and natural compounds that are in certain foods, and they interfere with the absorption of nutrients and the vitamins and minerals. So this is especially found in grains, legumes, nuts. Those are some of the bad ones. Now, you have some naturally occurring ones in some good ones, like in vegetables and fruits, and in coffee, like flavonoids. But the only caution with the good ones is just to make sure you're not over-consuming those certain compounds, because they will cause your digestive system to react to them. And so what happens is the anti-nutrients, the main offenders are phytic acid and gluten. So they are both inhibitors of the essential enzymes that you need to break down your food, to get the nutrients out of the food you're eating. So my blanket advice is just to avoid gluten. Right now I am limiting myself. I'm avoiding gluten, but limiting legumes and beans, you know, limiting like beans and chickpeas, and definitely grains. So, and just, you know, like I said, this is an individual, our health is an individual thing, and you got to figure out what works for you. And sometimes that means you have to eliminate certain things, see how your body feels when you eliminate it, and then you can reintroduce some things. Like, I could reintroduce black beans. I mean, I like to make chili, right? So after eliminating it, I could reintroduce that and then take note of how I react to that, how my body reacts to that. And it may be that I'm okay with that or having that occasionally. So again, it's an individual responsibility for us to figure out what's going to work for us for our health. And but then, you know, again, if you have any research or any things that you found that work for you, definitely share them with me. Either comment here or send me a private message, because I would love to talk to you about that and figure out what works for you. Maybe break it down and why it's working, and then I can use it to help other people that may have a similar situation, right? Again, inspire, educate, inform, and educate, inspire. That's the goal here. Okay, so we talked about a lot, and you know, it really just boils down to, if you want a healthy gut, you got to eat healthy food. And we have to go back to what our ancestors did, really, and that is to we're eating the food, and we're eating what our food eats. Have you heard that? I love that, because if you're eating, you know, cows and like, I'm in Alaska, so we eat moose and caribou, and they all eat whatever they can forage, whatever is naturally occurring, all natural things, wild things, and not genetically modified, or, you know, things that they weren't normally supposed to eat, like the filler grains. They aren't injected with hormones and antibiotics to keep them healthy until they get slaughtered. So, and the same with plants, you know, we didn't grow things just so that we could get them to the market. We grew things responsibly so that they were the best nutrition for our bodies. So again, it comes down, your gut health is all dependent on what you're eating. And but if you need to, while you're getting to a good place with your gut health, eat fermented foods. That's been encouraged, you know. Don't make that the one be-all staple that you have, and be careful of what kind you're eating. So if you're getting yogurts that have the probiotics in it, make sure it doesn't have all the sugar, because then you're just feeding your gut sugar. And again, you know, that's feeding certain bacteria. It's going to trigger sugar cravings. So you got to be smart about those choices as well. So again, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, kombucha. And then if you're doing prebiotics or probiotic supplements, if you're getting them encapsulated, a lot of those don't actually survive the stomach acid. So go as broken down form as you can. And especially the probiotics, they, like in the yogurt, that's good. Just make sure you're not eating really high sugar yogurts. And, you know, it pays to pay a little bit more to get the good stuff, because your body will appreciate it, you will feel better, and you will have less health issues and medical issues. So the other thing is, you know, eat grass-fed, pasture-raised animals protein. So beef and chicken, lamb. Eat natural, nutrient and fiber-rich plants and veggies, right? Veggies. Make sure we need fiber. We need that fiber. That's going to help with that fermentation. Limit your processed foods. Like, totally get it out of there. Limit your sugar intake. Make it only naturally occurring sugars. Limit your starchy foods, because those break down to sugars. You know, and we can make that a whole other subject. In fact, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about is, you know, carbohydrates and the role that they play, and, you know, the good ones, the bad ones, and how it gets stored into your body and all that good stuff. Limit or totally remove grains and gluten. You might experiment with legumes, nuts, see how that works for you, and reintroduce the grains or the beans and the nuts back, but do it, you know, systematically, and make sure you keep a journal to see how your body reacts to it. If you're eating, it's like quinoa, you know, grains like that. Like, I love quinoa. I've eliminated it right now just to see. But when I eat it back, I'm going to see, does it trigger stomach pain? Does it trigger bloating? You know, and just to know for myself, okay, then I need to totally eliminate that if I want the good gut health. Drink lots of water. I mean, our body needs water. 80% of our body is formed from water molecules, so we need it to function, and you need that for a good digestive system to operate. As I mentioned before, and I'll mention all the time, half of your body weight in ounces. So a person who weighs 140 pounds would be drinking 70 ounces of water every day. Okay, this is like a 25 ounce bottle, and so I would drink 3 of those in a day. What else? Oh, exercise. Okay, so stress again will trigger signals to your gut, and stress plays a role in the health of the bacteria. So if you're stressed out, you're going to get more signals. So exercise helps eliminate stress, reduce stress. It's just good to get your body moving, and it helps, sweat out toxins and that kind of thing that get into your bloodstream that cause inflammation. So if you do those things, definitely chat with me on how that's going for you. I would love to hear. If there's anything you heard here that you want some more information on, definitely let me know that too. I would love to continue to chat with you about this. If there's something that you've learned, definitely share that with me, because I would love to learn more. I'm continually love to learn. And let's just try to, live as healthy as possible. If we can remove so when you have that inflammation, and if you're introducing certain toxins to your bloodstream and you're causing that inflammation, if you're doing that continually all the time, you're not giving your body that rest it needs from continually defending itself. So that's where chronic inflammation comes in, and then chronic inflammation has been known to attribute to lots of major illnesses like cancer, like heart disease, obesity, autoimmune deficiencies. So just this is so important of a subject, and really it is a simple solution. Every problem has a solution, and right now the easiest way is just to make better dietary choices, so you know what's going in is going to be the best for your overall health, whether it's your gut health, your poop health, your energy levels, your vitality. It all is really linked to that nutrition piece, that with the choices that you were making. If you need help with that, I would love to help you with that as well. And just on a side note, because you can ask me questions here, we can talk about things either in the live chats, the talks on Tuesday, or we can do, private talks. I'm happy to do that. Yesterday I took my mom to a nutritionist. It cost her $250 for less, like a 40-minute session. And we walked away. It was good for my mom to hear it from somebody else besides me, but she got all that information for free right here from me. But sometimes you need that third-party person to say that. But I was really shocked. $250 for her to get the advice that I've been giving her all along, but if she actually implements some of that, then it's totally worth it to me. But just know that I'm here for you, and this is very important to me, not only in my own life and my family's life, but in helping people and paying that forward so that people can enjoy their journey of living fit every day. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Chat with you soon. Bye.